Well, here's a slightly different video. Fan has stopped fanning. Need to fix. Let's get to it. So this is a Flavel Milano E50, just a very small electric fan oven, and if you turn the main oven on down there, you can probably hear that struggling. The fan is just no longer turning. For the last couple of weeks it's been whistling and grinding and rattling, and I assume the bearings were about to give up the ghost, but now it's just jammed. So we need to get all of this out, and the back plate in there, take the actual fan blade off itself, and then go round the back and pull the motor out. Better turn that off. Okay. Right, so I think just disturbing it has freed the fan up, look. But still making a real graunchy noise. It's variable in speed, and in a minute it will start whistling and groaning. Goes. Anyway, so let's get it all out, and we'll start by getting that fan off. And then we'll pull it out and take the motor out. Okay, this is the motor close up. You can see it's got another fan now. I think that's probably just a cooling fan for the motor itself. So I'm going to wedge that and then go back round the front and see if we can get that nut undone. Right, so let's see if we can undo this. I've got a sneaky feeling that spindle's turning. So I think what that means is that the key that holds the fan on probably slipping, in fact. Yeah, that looks like exactly what's happening. So okay, well, we need to get this off another way because I can't stop that spindle from turning. Helping. I presume that fan is not keyed onto the spindle, so that's not holding it. And might just disassemble that, what would you call that? Well, it's just a bearing, isn't it? I'll disassemble that and see if we can hold that spindle from the back there. Imagine the spindle, that's obviously the back end, is keyed onto that, so if we hold that with a pair of grips, we should be able to get it off the front. If not, we should be able to cut through it there, because that's quite accessible. So, a palaver. Use a big extension to see if I can get round both sides, like I'm giving it a big cuddle. That is it. I just need to unplug the rest of the motor, and then that's it successfully removed. Okay, that's the rest of that. And that, boys and girls, and well, that is the old motor. It might not look like it, but let's have a look at the new one. So in one or two dimensions it looks like the wrong one. The fan's much bigger, and those connectors are in the wrong place, so it's not a complete like for like swap. So now's the time to check the packaging, I suppose, and yep, it's the wrong one. So I'm just going to have to shovel this oven back in its hole and contact the seller and get the right one sent out before I can get this thing fired all back up. Okay, little update then. I've spoken to the seller. They reckon this is definitely the right one, even though you can see the pins are completely in the wrong place, and the fan is much bigger, and broader's not an issue, but it's deeper, and I'm concerned it will just not clear behind the back panel that we took out, because there's not a lot of room there. I think it's just going to scrape against the back panel, just not move. We'll see. We'll give it a try, but the seller reckons that this is made by Beko and it's definitely the correct one for my model, because they've double checked. So all I can do is try and fit it, and if it doesn't work then I'll have absolute evidence that they're wrong, and we'll just have to get them to refund, and I'll have to source the right part. So anyway, let's get this one fitted and see if we can get this oven back up and running. Just got to figure out which of those is which, because obviously I knew which way they came off with this one. That one I'll be guessing, so I don't know. Trial and error. Would seem like a good position, sort of very similar to where the old one came out anyway. Okay, let's get a screw positioned, put the top one in, and that should hold everything in place a little bit. So right, here goes. Doesn't reach. I'm going to need to reposition at 120 degrees, aren't I? Okay. Let's see if we can make this fan motor spin this way, which is of course anti-clockwise from the back and clockwise from the front. Let's go and click it on, see what happens. That seems more like it. It's going in the right direction, so I've got the wires on the right way. Let's go get the fan on the front. Right, just check where it's keyed, which is just at the top there. Oh, this is interesting. Guess who's right and guess who's wrong. That does not fit. See the size difference, it's massive. So why don't I just go and fit this one? I hear you ask. Well, I could, but of course you can see it needs to fit on to that key on the spindle. And part of the issue with this one, apart from the broken motor, is that it's completely worn away. So let me go and see if I can try and remake that key. I doubt it very much, but we can have a go, try and knock it all back into place, see what happens. Okay, well I've contacted the seller, let's see what they come back with. I'm going to have to try and fit this old one. If that holds, that'll be good enough until I can get a replacement. Okay, let's see if we can get this one to fit. Let's find the key. Okay, so I'll put the flat to the top. We've got a flat of sorts on this. See, it just spins on the, well, it might be the spindle turning there. Anyway, let's see if we can do that up tight and keep it tight. Just remember that the it's an anti-clockwise thread, so there you go. Right, so I think this might work temporarily until I can get a new fan. Sits on there, so I'm probably not going to be able to hold the fan and do that up because it's just going to slip because it's not a good fit, but if I hold it from the back by wedging it, I should be able to do that nut up. Okay, that should hold it and stop it from turning while I do that nut up. And honestly, this doesn't need to be tight, it's just sort of spanner tight really, 10-12 Newton meters. There's a reason they put this on as an anti-clockwise thread, because it self-tightens with the direction of the fan motor, so all good. Let's give it a try, shall we? Power on, remove wedge. I think we can call that a win. Nice and quiet, no grumbling, no whistling. I just need to fit the rear guard and the front plate and we're all fixed. This can be slightly awkward because this is sort of floating, it's just like the vent and it's got a little tab there which sits on there, so it does sort of hold it in place, but it's not great. So if you kind of get it roughly in position, that helps if you've got someone to hold it for you. Just using a small electrical screwdriver to poke through to actually position it, which helps. And then you can pop a screw in the other side, do that one up, and then you should be home dry with this. Okay, now we just need to pop the 6 down the sides in. Right, that's the rear cover all fitted and screwed up now, and the oven back in place.